Good evening, Vietnam. uh, it's 10 o'clock on a Thursday evening. Humid, muggy, dreadful. Today we'll be coloring in Photoshop. Coloring this piece, not this piece. I already colored this piece. Hopefully in an hour, I will be able to have colored the piece that I'm going to show you. Probably not to this degree, but I will do my best to get awfully close. Here's what we'll be coloring. This is in celebration of my 200th post on Instagram. This will be 200, lucky number 200. So let's get started before I run out of time. A little sip of water. Okay. So, something I've always done when coloring is have a zillion layers. Don't do that. One ink layer. That's it. I've learned this from comic book artists on YouTube. Just have one ink layer. I used to have a layer for the head, a layer for the gloves, and the reason I would have different layers is because I thought I had to color each one, and I didn't know the techniques that I know now for doing that. Like if you want to color this glove, well, you want to try to stay inside the line, but it's easier than that. So that's what we'll do today. And I've already started some coloring just to test out some colors. I didn't like the placement of this hand. Think about the silhouette of your drawings, and does it make sense? I don't have a silhouette for this, but when you think about your silhouette, obviously it's this weird shape plus these things coming out. You can't see this hand, so you have no idea what these characters are doing in silhouette. That's bad design technically. So I have to really make this glove pop. And here's another problem. This green glove on top of a green sleeve, I really don't like that, but that's a costume design, so I'm gonna go with it. So one ink layer, one flat layer, and that's it. My original sketch. And yeah, let's just get jiggy with it. So right, so I should lock my ink layer and magic wand tool. So I just select inside the line, anti-alias contiguous on. Collect that. So you see it's like, I mean, it's not meeting that line. Make sure you get all of it. So there's some shortcuts to doing this, to expanding it. Actually select modify expand. I think I expand by 2 and watch what happens. See, it comes over this line now. It's not perfect. You have to go in and save that little bit, but that's a trick. And then gather all this. I usually do gather all this. Yes, it takes a while. Couldn't get in those corners. Gather this. Anything that's going to be the skin color, try to just select it. Make sure you chop the corners. I think we're good. Lip. I can do that lip later. So once you've got the whole thing selected, Again, just skin. To your flat layer. You notice I've not spelled it properly. That's because when I set up my action, I spelled it fault instead of flat. So just don't worry about that. You should spell it however you spell flat, and then set up your actions appropriately. Skin color, I'm choosing this. Perfect. Look at that. Skin color done. In the past, I used to take my brush and come in here and try to just stay in the line like you used to as a kid, just coloring book, but you don't have to do that, and this way is usually much quicker, especially for large areas like this or like this. Selecting. I do have an action for my expand. I need this, and this. And this. Okay. So again, just hit that, just do that expand, and then with your lasso tool, come on in and gather. I like to just gather all this stuff and make sure I've collected it all. Super tedious. And you probably don't have to do it this way. This is just how I saw it done, and I've been doing it this way, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So what is he called? Dick, what is this guy, his character name? Huh? Robin, but what is his real name? Dick Grayson? It's Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is Batman, right? Bruce Danning? And Dick, or is it Dick? It's Burt Ward. I think it's Burt Ward is the actor who played Robin. But his name, his actual name. Okay, we don't know. If anybody knows. Does anybody? Nothing? Okay. Here we go. So G for your color, your fill tool. Pick your nice brown color. We'll give him a nice pretty color. Fill it in. So easy. For small things like these teeth, yeah, I would just pick a color in my brush, technically, and just color it in. And I can be a little bit sloppy here. The other nice thing about doing it this way, instead of having it all on multiple layers, like all your colors, all your ink on multiple layers, you just select the color. And if you do Control U, you pull up your hue saturation menu. You just change it. You know, if I wanted a little more yellow, just adjust it. Right? So, super cool. Super easy. I went outside the line because I'm going to hand draw or hand color the inside. And again, your flats can be any color because you can adjust them later once you have identified the section, if that makes sense. right? So just select it, Control U. We'd normally make that a little bit brighter and a little bit darker and a little bit redder, I guess. Yeah, but not to match, not a color that would match this, so I'll change it later. I have a lot of programs open here. Close that. Okay, sorry. His mask, I think, is black. We should have researched his colors a little bit better. Robin has a bunch of different colors, and depending on the version you're looking at in terms of you know, modeling after the TV the old TV show with Dick Grayson, Burt Ward, Dick Grayson. I'm pretty sure it's Dick Grayson. Let's fill this in black. Again, you can change it. You can change it later just by selecting it. Darn. I don't know what these are. What color? Well, I know his... somebody yelled out. What was that?
Yellow.
Yellow. His belt is yellow. I know he has a skin-colored leggings. I will have to extend this. I will extend that ink down. I know that's... I'm pretty sure his belt is yellow. His diaper? It might be brown. No, his belt is yellow. His diaper is white, right? Should I give him a white diaper?
Mm-hmm.
The peanut gallery's got jokes tonight. I honestly thought that his drawers were red, but maybe they're green. I bet they're green. Well, brush. Uh-oh. There we go. I'm freezing. My computer is not happy. Okay, brush. No. Color. There you go. Okay. I am doing what I said I wouldn't do, which is hand color these things instead of selecting it, but only because I don't have the ink color or the ink on this side. It's not going to select it. So I'll just roughly go around it. Oh, this is so much fun, isn't it? I hope everybody had a great day today. Okay, and let's get that yellow. Yeah. Again, we can change all these colors once they're flatted. Once the flat's done, you can change any color you want into any color you want. And maybe I should have done all this before I started this live stream. But I wanted to show you, those who do not color this way, that it is okay to have all of your colors on one layer. Again, I used to not do it that way. I used to have a zillion different layers for color. Because again, if you want to shade this belt buckle, do a gradient on it, well, anything you try to do, any gradient you try to give it, if it's not on its own layer, how can you do it without getting on this screen, right? Not right. You just select it. Now look. There you go. It's that easy. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, we're almost done here. Now his thing here is yellow. Well, we can make it any color we want, can't we? It's our drawing, right? I'm not going to show you how I did my actions because I don't remember, and I only have 3 actions that I've learned from YouTube videos, but check out how to do actions. They're a huge time saver. Instead of clicking up here and going, okay, select, modify, expand, and then going through all that garbage, just set it up as an action. I hit Shift F3 and boom, it's done for me. I mean, if you care about shaving precious seconds off of your work. Sometimes it's important to do that way. So I don't like that their green glove is overlapping kind of this green cape and his green sleeve, so I might make that cape yellow, although I think it is green. My colors are just all messed up, aren't they? Here, we'll take this and make it red, this red, except for this, which is the yellow. Okay. Save. I bet that's not helping. Okay, let's get to work on that brain. Again, magic wand tool. This is why you put it all on all your ink on one layer. You can select anything. Again, anti-alias, contiguous. Just click what you need to select. It's only selecting this bit. Again, just expand that. You see that line is up against that. If you don't expand that selection on your flat layer, I'm going to show you what happens. Look at this. Awful. So again, my little shortcut there, and then just with the lasso tool, just kind of shift and lassos tool my way through this. I try to make it as clean as I can. Anything, oh well, this ear obviously needs to be in here. Well, that would normally be a different color, I think. So everything is inside. Sometimes when you expand the selection, you know, depending on the thickness of your line, obviously this one thicker than that one, so you can't do like a three pixel, however it work, expansion. You can, I think I do a 2 pixel expansion, but again, it depends on your ink stroke. So that's why I have to go in and make some manual adjustments. Here on the flat layer, fill that in. I think that's probably pretty good for right now. I know his cape is also that color, and yes, you're right, I should have selected all of these at the same time, including the glove, including that, and that's yellow. That's belt is yellow, I think. And expand my selection. Just come in here real quick. This process of coloring, well, usually when I'm doing a piece of artwork, it can take quite a while. Again, from my Instagram feed. Hey, come join me on Instagram. You might as well. I mean, what else are you gonna do? I don't do pictures of my food. I don't have any pictures of my cats. There might be one picture of my cat. There is one picture of my cat.
Which one?
The very first one with my picture on it.
No, which cat?
Oh, Chief Brody. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's fill this in. That same color. Great. Now, his shirt and his, I'll have to manually do this. You know what? I'm gonna fix this right now. This ink layer. I wasn't really too sure what I was gonna do with on Instagram. Obviously, everything's a square, and that's how I draw everything. But I wasn't too sure what I didn't want to do their legs or what they were even going to look like. They weren't even supposed to have anything below the belt, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I still don't. I mean, what can you do with this? So I didn't finish this, but I will right now. Oops. That's fine. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Alright, good. Now I can select his underwear. And make sure it's all selected here. Again, just with the magic wand, I'm just selecting inside the lines on my ink layer. Expand that selection. Or again, select, modify, expand. Again, I think I do 2 or 3. Again, I have it as a shortcut. And then lasso tool, which is L. clean this stuff up. How are we doing on time? Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna finish this. I need to pick up the pace. So yeah, I may not even get to any of the fun stuff because this is not fun. This is just tedium. Good, good, good. Come on. Okay. So I'm filling in, and there are a bunch of pictures. Some of them he kind of looks like he's purple. I don't. That's not right. Purple blue. I'll find it. And then his leggings. I have no idea what his leggings are supposed to look like. Let's just color them in. Are they this color? I know they're not. Actually, his underwear are this color and his leggings are this color, I think. Darn. That's too bad. Okay, so you ask, okay, how can you just select this bit? Well, I think you know, there is a way. Magic wand, take off that. Oh, sample all layers. Nope. There you go. Contiguous sample all layers. Now I've just selected this, his underoos. Sort of. And having selected it, I'm going to Control U, bring up my hue saturation. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I know what color I want. Is this color. There we go. And this is going to be this color. Because his leggings go all the way down. Unlike Robin does have leggings, but he's bare-skinned in this one. Okay, I want to match this yellow with this. Just let me select that, expand that selection, and I'm just for fun gonna make sure all of this is in there. Fill that in. Okay, back to the ink layer, select this skin. Everything is selected. Expand that selection. Get on in there and sometimes I think it would be easier if I did all of the internal inking after I've colored it. Do you know what I mean? Then I wouldn't have to go around these things. You know, that's the reason you put it on a different layer too, is because you don't have to worry about it. That makes sense. His face color is going to be filled with, I'm just going to match that. And I'm going to match this one as well for right now. And we'll just paint that in. Kind of gory. Yeah, this is where you want that selection tool. It's just easier. except for in here. Look at that. Oh no. Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. What a mess. Just make sure we've got everything selected here. Good. And fill with on the flat layer this. Oh, come on. There we go. Good. And then let's hand color his tongue. I hope everybody's having a good time out there tonight. Quickly, the eye, the lip, what should we do? Give him a little bit of a, no, just go a little bit darker maybe. Oh, I hate this. And then let's get that eye. Now, eyes, I'm usually around a bluish greenish color, and I usually go a little bit dark on that eye. More on that later. Let's see, can I just select it? Sometimes it's just easier to, whoops, to select it instead of trying to paint it. Just select it, right? And you can just do them both. I sometimes forget how easy it is to just magic wand, select it, and just fill it in. What I do for this section of skin over the eye is I usually make it just a wee bit darker. So this color, and maybe just a little bit darker. Maybe just a little bit darker. And I'll have to do this side too. While I have you, let's just do that right now. Meet that. And the eyebrow, I'm gonna go, I'll go black. Cute little kitty ear. Isn't that adorable? Here's one more. Oh, good. almost done. 1040. I mean, I'm almost done flatting. There's a lot more to do. What color should his belt be? I think it's yellow. Oh man, look at all these lines. Again, that's just selecting with the magic wand and expanding that selection. And you say, well, if you're going to make all these corrections, cleaning it up this way, why even select it? Why don't you just go ahead and outline it? Well, you're right, I should have, especially on this belt. I wish you'd said something before I... did it. So here we go. Okay. Easy. Now, whoops. G for the bucket tool, Alt for color picker. Drop that color in. Cool. Okay, we've got all of our colors. Oh, if we're happy, and we know it, and we're not, because look, these really should be that color to match his shirt. God, what a scary group. What are they saying, I wonder? Okay. So I'm happy with my colors. And the next thing I would do on my flat layer is, well, I would hit F4. Actually, I would hit the G for my paint bucket tool, D, black and white, here, yes. And I would hit F4. You didn't see anything happen. That's good. That's a magic happening behind the scenes. So what did I just do? I'm creating a shadow layer. I'm going to delete that and show you what I would do. Duplicate your flat layer. Okay? Control U. My saturation usually goes to about 30 or so. My lightness usually drops to about 30. Okay, you see them changing, right? And that's about what I would do. That's it. And then one of these layer masks, right? Fill it black. It goes away. And then with your brush tool and white selected, you can paint shadow. And if you set this to multiply, which sometimes I do, sometimes I will do a color burn or any of these others, whatever looks best. You get some pretty cool effects. So let's take, well, just get that out of there. Okay, so why are we doing that? This is why. Whoops. No, just go normal. A little shadow under his nose. A little bit of shadow on his nose. This is all just brushing now. With the brush tool. Sure, there's a little bit of shadow under his lip. I normally have my light source coming from above. Generally speaking, do that. I don't tend to get too complicated with it. I would like to someday learn how to really do that. Have a bright light, or a green light coming from the side, shining light on this way and then shadow on that side, but whatever. We're not that advanced. This is only my 3rd live stream, so I'm not that advanced yet. Make sure there's a little bit of, oops, shadow under his mask. Even though it probably sits pretty flat to his face, I think it's fun to explore other options. Oh, here for sure this is all shadow because it's hair. Again, this is all just on a separate layer, using a layer mask. Makes quite a difference. And yeah, sometimes I put on multiply and tone it down a little bit. I'm not going to do that yet. Okay. That's for shadow. For highlights, go back to your original flat color, which again, my action is, I spelled it wrong, so I have to name the layer fault, but you will name it flat. Duplicate that layer. Same thing, Control U. Bring up your hue and saturation. I usually bump my saturation up by about 30 or so. And my lightness also up. Just whatever tickles your fancy. Put it over, put that layer over your shadow layer, and give it a layer mask. G, X for the D, for black. Fill that in. Now again, X swaps between black and white over here. Yeah. You're painting white on this layer mask. What white does is it lets all that goodness that you just created shine through. And since it's a mask, it's not going outside of, outside of the character. I would normally have a touch of shadow here. So you say, okay, I can't even see it. So I would normally do an overlay, but sometimes I do a screen. And just give him a little dash of color there. That's not very good, is it? Okay, so something like this, just hit your X, you get your black. You're not erasing it, you're just, well, you are. But not with the eraser tool, just with the brush tool. I mean, that's not very good. But you get the idea. No, that should be dark. This is light. Some real neon colors here. So that's my technique for coloring. Again, I learned this from comic book artists on YouTube. I think K. Michael Russell does it this way. There are a couple other guys who have some really great coloring tutorials. So yeah, this is not something I invented. I wish I had. I'd be selling it for money right now. How much would you pay for this information? The next thing I would do is a gradient. Obviously this isn't finished. I've got a lot of work to do putting in shadows and highlights, but the next thing I would do is do it right, name your layers, gradient. This gradient tool, I tend to go with a purple and yellow, something like this. Watch what happens. On your original flat layer, select that skin, all of that skin, just this section. Back up to your gradient layer. With your gradient tool, set that gradient to, say, multiply. Tone it down just a bit on opacity. And I would actually do it reverse so that the darkest part is under the hair. Sometimes I do it that way. It's a nice effect. Or, you know, that's also nice. You can also split it up depending on how your character is set up. Luckily, I have a mask, so I can leave it like that and just redo this top and have my shadow there as well, like such. That's nice. And yeah, what you'd want to do also is, if you're really looking for some detail, gradient is just sneak your way in here. Oh, the tediousness of art, and just give that a bit of a gradient like such. Okay, so I don't love this. I don't think I will leave it this way, because I wouldn't leave it this way. In fact, I wouldn't leave it this way, but you get the idea. Here, his diaper, same thing. Oops. Oh no. Okay, take that off, sample all layers, so now it's just collecting that. Back on the gradient. Oops. God, nothing's easy. I do stick to this purple and yellow quite a bit, but it's good to have a different selection of gradients that you can monkey around with. The thing is, like, you come back to your shadow layer with the brush and white, you create that shadow under this belt. Here, this is in shadow. I bet this is in shadow here. This is probably in shadow from his arm. There's a little bit of a lip there. I'll give this a little bit of a... They're knobs here. Um, I guess I can go longer than an hour, can I? It's a free world. But I would never finish this one tonight anyway. That's too thick. That rotate tool is also so important, especially if you're working with a, excuse me, a pen tablet. To be able to turn that, R will turn it, escape gets you out of it. Isn't that great? Let's get this colored in. Some shadow. I'm actually not very good at this. I wish I was better, but you know what? The only way you get better is by doing it, practicing it constantly, and watching how professionals are doing it. So if you're watching this, you might want to watch somebody else to really see how it's supposed to be done. I talked about this earlier, this green glove being over this green sleeve and this green cape. Well, this is going to be darkened because his head is right there. Come on. This will be darkened a little bit. And, you know, when you go multiply, it really pops. And what you want to do is pop that hand, make that hand stand out. Gosh, how do you do that? Well, shadow on the sleeve, on the arm. Well, this looks dark all of a sudden because I set it to multiply. Never mind that whistling. Well, gang, it is coming up on 11 o'clock. I guess I was kind of an idiot to think that I could finish this in an hour. Maybe one little character I could, but not this many. So I'm gonna start closing it up for the night. It's been a long day. I hope you've had a long day as well. We should all suffer together. And tomorrow's Friday. It's basically the weekend. I hope you enjoy it. Good night, everybody. Okay, I interrupt this annoying music to quickly do these eyes. I want to show you how I do these eyes. First, a new layer. Label it. Eyes. Select eye. Eye, Captain. Back to your eye layer. How do I do eyes? Well, brush tool. What I would generally do is I keep them dark. You notice they are dark eyes. You know, you would normally just, it would be a white eye, right? So it looks normal. I don't like normal. I would do, and not in the shadow layer, you could, but I like to come in with a soft tool, a soft brush, with a color, and paint that right in. This is a different kind of example because how do you create a round eye inside of a mask? That's a good question. I guess I would do it this way, just a little bit of white. You see what's going on here, right? I really don't like this. Now we're getting something. You have to monkey around with it. It's art. It should be messy. Oops. At the same time, yeah, I do want like a shadow coming off, but how do you how do you create separation from the eye and the mask? Well, I'll have to think about this, but then I would tend to come in with that lighter color and hit the inside of that eye. It's kind of like, I have no idea what it's like. Forget I said anything. But look, now you've got like a rounded color. I'm not sure I actually like that, but that's how we would normally do an eye. This is really sloppy. Yeah, you're probably right. I should probably just... Oops. Why would it do that? There we go. Oh. There you go. Make sure your settings are right when you're using your magic wand tool. Anti-alias, contiguous, magic wand tool. You select that color. That's why you have all your colors on one layer. You want to select something, just select it. It's right there. Eyes, right, probably would just be nice as a white color. So, should I turn the music back on? Good night, everybody.